In the depths of isolation, we often find ourselves questioning the purpose of our solitude. Is it a punishment or a blessing? We may feel disconnected from the world, yet this separation is not without reason. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, often places us in isolation to prepare us for something greater. I believe, and you must consider this deeply, that there is a sign from the universe in your isolation. You were chosen for this. When we are alone, the noise of the world fades away, leaving us with only our thoughts and feelings. This is a crucial time for introspection and self-discovery. In this solitude, we are given the opportunity to reconnect with our inner selves, to understand who we truly are beyond the roles and masks we wear in society. Have you ever wondered why you were placed in this state of isolation? Perhaps the universe is guiding you to explore the depths of your soul, to uncover the hidden truths that lie within. Isolation strips away the distractions, allowing us to face our innermost fears and desires. It is in this space that we can begin to heal old wounds and release the emotional baggage that has been holding us back. The universe is giving us a chance to cleanse our spirits, to let go of what no longer serves us. This process can be painful, but it is necessary for our growth. We must embrace this time of solitude as a period of purification and renewal. During isolation, we may also experience a heightened sense of awareness and intuition. Without the constant bombardment of external stimuli, our minds become more attuned to the subtle messages of the universe. We start to notice the signs and synchronicities that we might have previously overlooked. These signs are guiding us, pointing us in the direction of our true purpose. Have you been paying attention to the signs that the universe is sending you? There is wisdom in these subtle hints, and it is up to us to decipher their meaning. As we navigate through this period of isolation, we must also recognize the power of solitude in fostering creativity and inspiration. When we are alone, we have the freedom to explore our passions and interests without judgment or distraction. This is a time to cultivate our talents, to dive deep into our creative pursuits. The universe is providing us with the space to nurture our gifts, to develop the skills that will ultimately lead us to our destiny. Moreover, isolation teaches us the value of self-reliance and resilience. It is in these moments of solitude that we discover our inner strength and resourcefulness. We learn to trust ourselves, to rely on our own abilities to overcome challenges. The universe is preparing us for the journey ahead, equipping us with the tools we need to navigate the obstacles that may come our way. How have you grown stronger during your time of isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have become more resilient and self-sufficient.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
In embracing our isolation, we also develop a deeper sense of empathy and compassion. When we are alone, we have the opportunity to reflect on our relationships and the way we interact with others. We gain a greater understanding of the human condition, recognizing that everyone experiences moments of loneliness and struggle. This newfound empathy allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, fostering more meaningful and authentic relationships. Have you noticed a change in the way you relate to others since experiencing isolation? Consider how your compassion has grown during this time. As we continue to explore the significance of isolation, we must remember that this period is not meant to be permanent. The universe has a plan for each of us, and our time of solitude is a stepping stone towards fulfilling our purpose. We are being prepared for something greater, and it is essential that we remain open and receptive to the lessons that isolation brings. How will you use this time to prepare for your next chapter? Think about the ways in which you can harness the power of solitude to propel yourself forward. Embracing solitude, the path to inner wisdom and strength. As we continue to delve into the profound implications of isolation, we must acknowledge the transformative power it holds in leading us to inner wisdom and strength. The quiet moments of solitude are not just periods of loneliness, they are sacred opportunities for self-reflection and growth. You were chosen for this journey of isolation because the universe believes in your potential to uncover deeper truths and emerge stronger than ever before. In the silence of isolation, we are invited to listen to the whispers of our soul. This is a time to turn inward and ask ourselves the difficult questions that we often avoid in the hustle and bustle of daily life. What are your true desires? What fears have been holding you back? The universe is providing you with a rare chance to confront these questions head-on, to strip away the layers of societal conditioning and reconnect with your authentic self. This process requires courage and honesty, but the rewards are immeasurable. Isolation also offers us the gift of stillness, a state in which we can experience profound clarity and insight. When the external world quiets down, our inner world becomes more vivid. We begin to see our life with a new perspective, recognizing patterns and behaviors that we may not have noticed before. This clarity allows us to make more conscious choices, aligning our actions with our true values and intentions. Have you taken the time to embrace stillness in your isolation? Consider the insights you have gained and how they can guide you moving forward. Another significant aspect of isolation is the opportunity to build a deeper relationship with ourselves. In our busy lives, we often neglect our own needs and desires, prioritizing the demands of others. However, isolation forces us to become our own best friend, to nurture and care for ourselves in ways we might have neglected. This self-care is not just about physical well-being, but also about emotional and spiritual nourishment. How have you been taking care of yourself during this time? Reflect on the ways in which you have shown yourself love and compassion. In isolation, we also learn the importance of self-discipline and routine. Without the structure of our usual schedules, it can be easy to fall into patterns of procrastination and idleness. However, this period of solitude is an invitation to cultivate discipline in our lives. By creating a routine that includes time for reflection, creativity, and self-care, we can make the most of our isolation. This discipline not only helps us stay productive, but also fosters a sense of purpose and direction. How have you structured your days in isolation? Think about the routines you have established and how they have supported your growth. Moreover, isolation teaches us to find joy and fulfillment within ourselves, rather than relying on external sources. In a world that often emphasizes material success and social validation, this can be a challenging lesson. However, true happiness comes from within, and isolation provides us with the space to explore this inner joy. By engaging in activities that bring us genuine pleasure and satisfaction, we learn to cultivate a sense of contentment that is independent of external circumstances. What activities have brought you joy during your isolation? Reflect on the moments of happiness you have experienced and how they have enriched your life. As we embrace our time of solitude, it is also essential to acknowledge the role of faith and trust in the universe's plan. Isolation can be a test of our faith, challenging us to believe in a higher purpose even when we cannot see the full picture. Trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even in our moments of solitude, requires a deep sense of surrender and acceptance. This faith allows us to remain hopeful and optimistic, knowing that our isolation is a necessary step in our journey towards our true purpose. How has your faith been tested during this time? Consider the ways in which you have strengthened your trust in the universe. Lastly, isolation reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things. While we may feel physically separated from others, we are never truly alone. The universe is constantly communicating with us, offering guidance and support through signs and synchronicities. By remaining open and receptive to these messages, we can navigate our isolation with a sense of connection and purpose. Have you felt the presence of the universe in your isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have experienced this connection and how it has supported you. The Sacred Journey: Unlocking Transformation Through Isolation. As we move deeper into understanding the essence of isolation, we come to realize that it is not merely a state of being alone, but a sacred journey towards transformation. This journey is designed by the universe to help us unlock our highest potential. You were chosen for this because you have the strength and capacity to grow through this experience, emerging as a more evolved version of yourself. Isolation brings us face to face with our shadows, the parts of ourselves that we often ignore or deny. These shadows can include our fears, insecurities, and unresolved traumas. It is in the solitude of isolation that we are given the opportunity to confront these shadows and integrate them into our being. This process is known as shadow work, and it is a crucial step in our personal development. By acknowledging and embracing our shadows, we can transform them into sources of strength and wisdom. Have you faced your shadows during this time of isolation? Reflect on the aspects of yourself that you have come to understand more deeply. Another profound lesson of isolation is the importance of self-acceptance. In our society, we are often conditioned to seek validation and approval from others. However, true self-worth comes from within. Isolation gives us the chance to practice radical self-acceptance, to love ourselves unconditionally despite our perceived flaws and imperfections. This self-acceptance is a powerful act of self-love that can transform our lives. How have you practiced self-acceptance during your isolation? Consider the ways in which you have embraced yourself fully. Isolation also teaches us the value of patience and perseverance. The journey of transformation is not a quick or easy one. It requires time, effort, and a willingness to endure discomfort. In our moments of solitude, we learn to be patient with ourselves and our progress. We come to understand that growth is a gradual process, and that every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our true selves. How have you practiced patience during your isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have persevered through challenges. Furthermore, isolation provides us with the opportunity to cultivate a deeper sense of spirituality. Without the distractions of everyday life, we can connect more deeply with our spiritual essence and the divine. This connection can take many forms, whether it be through meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in nature. The universe is inviting us to deepen our spiritual practice, to find solace and guidance in our connection with the divine. How has your spirituality evolved during this time of isolation? Think about the ways in which you have connected with the divine and how it has supported your journey. Isolation also encourages us to redefine our relationship with time. In our fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to constantly be productive and achieve external success. However, isolation teaches us that time is a fluid concept and that true growth happens in the present moment. By slowing down and being fully present, we can savor the richness of each moment and appreciate the beauty of our journey. How has your perception of time changed during your isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have embraced the present moment. Moreover, Isolation helps us to recognize the interdependence of all life. While we may feel physically alone, we are connected to the collective consciousness of humanity and the universe. This awareness fosters a sense of unity and compassion, reminding us that we are all in this together. Our isolation is not just a personal journey, but a contribution to the collective evolution of humanity. How have you felt connected to the collective during your isolation? Consider the ways in which your personal growth has contributed to the greater good. Lastly, isolation is a powerful teacher of gratitude. When we are stripped of external distractions, we become more aware of the simple blessings in our lives. We learn to appreciate the small moments of joy and the beauty that surrounds us. This gratitude shifts our perspective, allowing us to see our isolation as a gift rather than a burden. How have you practiced gratitude during your isolation? Reflect on the blessings you have discovered and how they have enriched your life. The liberation of isolation, embracing your chosen path. As we approach the culmination of our journey through isolation, we must recognize the liberation that comes from embracing our chosen path. This period of solitude is not an end, but a beginning, a gateway to a higher state of being. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has selected you for this transformative experience because it sees the potential within you to rise above and step into your true purpose. In the quiet of isolation, we find the freedom to redefine our identity. Away from the expectations and judgments of others, we can explore who we truly are. This is an opportunity to shed old labels and narratives that no longer serve us, to rewrite our story from a place of authenticity. By embracing our true selves, we liberate our spirit and align with our higher purpose. Have you taken the time to redefine yourself during this isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have let go of old identities and embraced your true essence. Isolation also allows us to cultivate inner peace and contentment. In a world that often equates happiness with external achievements, we learn that true fulfillment comes from within. By finding peace in our own company, we become less dependent on external validation and more attuned to our inner joy. This inner peace is a powerful foundation that will support us as we move forward on our path. How have you found inner peace during your isolation? Consider the practices and mindsets that have helped you cultivate a sense of contentment. Moreover, isolation teaches us the importance of surrender and trust in the universe. There are moments in life when we must let go of our need for control and trust that the universe has a plan for us. This surrender is not about giving up, but about releasing our attachment to specific outcomes and allowing life to unfold naturally. By trusting in the universe, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences that we might have otherwise overlooked. How have you practiced surrender during your isolation? Reflect on the ways in which you have let go of control and trusted in the journey. In this sacred solitude, we also have the chance to reconnect with our passions and purpose. The distractions of daily life often pull us away from what truly matters to us. Isolation gives us the space to rediscover our passions and align our actions with our purpose. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and direction, guiding us towards a life that is both meaningful and rewarding. What passions have you reconnected with during your isolation? Consider how these passions align with your purpose and how they can guide your future path. Isolation further enhances our capacity for resilience and adaptability. Life is full of unexpected challenges, and our ability to adapt and persevere is crucial for our growth. Through isolation, we learn to navigate uncertainty with grace and strength, developing a resilience that will serve us well in all areas of life. How have you become more resilient during your isolation? Reflect on the challenges you have faced and the ways in which you have grown stronger and more adaptable. Additionally, isolation provides us with the opportunity to deepen our connections with others. While we may be physically separated, the bonds we share with others can become even stronger. By reaching out and connecting from a place of authenticity and vulnerability, we create more meaningful and supportive relationships. These connections remind us that we are never truly alone and that our journey is shared by many. How have your relationships evolved during your isolation? Consider the ways in which you have deepened your connections with others. As we integrate the lessons of isolation, we must also embrace the power of intention. Our thoughts and intentions shape our reality, and by setting clear and positive intentions, we can manifest the life we desire. Isolation offers us the space to clarify our intentions and align them with our highest good. This intentional living empowers us to create a life that is in harmony with our true self and purpose. What intentions have you set during your isolation? Reflect on the ways in which your intentions have guided your actions and shaped your reality. Ultimately, the liberation of isolation is about stepping into our true power and potential. It is about recognizing that we are not victims of our circumstances, but active co-creators of our destiny. By embracing our chosen path, we honor the journey that the universe has laid out for us and move forward with courage, wisdom, and grace. How will you embrace your chosen path as you move beyond isolation? Think about the ways in which you can carry forward the lessons and growth you have experienced, using them to create a life that is truly aligned with your highest self. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the profound and transformative nature of isolation. May you find strength, wisdom, and liberation as you continue on your chosen path.